John was 68. He had never spent a night in the hospital. Every morning he woke up at 6 a.m., brewed his own coffee, read the newspaper, and sat on his porch watching the birds. He felt in control, healthy, alive. But one morning as he reached for his glass of water, his hand trembled. Just for a second. Later that day he dropped his car keys. Twice. Maybe I'm just tired, he told himself. It's probably just age. 3 days later, John suffered a minor stroke in his bathroom. No chest pain, no slurred speech, no dramatic fall, just quiet signs ignored. And life changed forever. Does that sound familiar? What if the most dangerous time for your heart and brain isn't when you're working hard or under stress, but the moment you wake up? According to new research, nearly half of all strokes happen in the morning. And for people over 60, the signs often show up days or even weeks before the event. But they whisper, not shout. The good news? Your body always gives you a warning if you know how to listen. In this video, you'll learn how to recognize the earliest signs of stroke and heart attack. Not the textbook symptoms, but the real ones that appear in real life. We'll walk through the 5 morning habits that may be silently increasing your risk and the tiny changes that could save your life. Because healing doesn't start in the hospital, it starts right here with a glass of water, a breath, and the courage to listen. Are you ready to hear what your body's been trying to tell you all along? When you wake up in the morning, your body doesn't just ease into the day, it goes through a dramatic physiological shift. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you're mildly dehydrated. Your blood becomes thicker. Your heart has to pump harder. And your stress hormone, cortisol, rises sharply, preparing your body for action, even before you open your eyes. This perfect storm is what cardiologists call the morning surge. According to a study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, this combination, thicker blood, narrowed vessels, and a spike in pressure, can significantly increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, especially between 6 a.m. and noon. Why is this especially important for people over 60? As we age, our blood vessels become less flexible, our circulation slows, and after lying down all night, it takes longer for the body to stabilize. That moment you swing your legs over the bed and stand up, it might feel normal, but it's actually one of the riskiest transitions of your day. You may think, I'm just getting older, when you feel lightheaded, off balance, or tired in the morning. But these aren't just signs of aging. They can be warnings. In fact, research shows that nearly 50% of all ischemic strokes, the most common kind, occur in the morning hours, and most of them strike right after waking. Instead of thinking, it's just morning fog, what if you paused and asked, is my body trying to tell me something? Because here's the truth. The danger isn't in the big dramatic moments. It's in the small, ordinary ones we don't question. And the window right after waking up is one of the most underestimated threats to your heart and brain health. But it's also your greatest opportunity. Why? Because this is the moment when you can make tiny changes, simple choices that shift everything. Instead of ignoring the signals, you can begin to respond. And that starts with the very first habit of the day, the one most people overlook. Most of us begin the day on autopilot. We wake up, reach for our phones, brew coffee, maybe skip breakfast, and carry on with the same routine we've trusted for years. But what if that very routine, those familiar habits, are slowly increasing your risk of stroke or heart attack? Especially after age 60, your body becomes more sensitive to small imbalances. What you do or don't do in the first 30 minutes can either support or stress your heart and brain. Let's look at 5 common morning habits that could be quietly putting you in danger. Habit number 1, skipping water. After a full night of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. That means your blood is thicker, your circulation slower, and your heart has to work harder to push that blood through narrowed arteries. A large U.S. survey found that adults who drank more water had up to 25% lower risk of stroke than those who drank the least. And yet, most people still reach for coffee before they drink a single sip of water. Instead of starting your day with caffeine, start with a glass of room temperature water. It helps thin your blood, wake your brain, and gently lower that morning blood pressure surge. Habit number 2, staying still after waking. Many seniors lie in bed or sit motionless for 20 to 30 minutes, waiting to feel awake. But after lying down all night, your blood tends to pool in your legs. That lack of movement can delay circulation to your brain. If you stand up too fast without moving first, you might feel dizzy, lightheaded, or worse. Instead of staying frozen, do small movements. Ankle rolls, shoulder shrugs, deep breaths. These help pump blood back toward your heart and brain, stabilizing your system before you get moving. Habit number 3, skipping breakfast. Especially dangerous if you take medications in the morning. Many seniors take blood pressure or diabetes meds right after waking. But without food, these medications can cause blood sugar crashes, fainting, or confusion. The CDC warns that adults over 60 who routinely skip meals are more likely to experience heart complications. Instead of skipping, try a light breakfast. A boiled egg, a handful of nuts, or a bit of yogurt. It stabilizes your blood sugar and supports your morning meds. Habit number 4, coffee on an empty stomach. Caffeine isn't the enemy, but the timing matters. Drinking coffee first thing, especially without food or water, can overstimulate your nervous system. For older adults, this combination of caffeine, dehydration, and morning cortisol can trigger arrhythmias, palpitations, or chest discomfort. A study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that caffeine can constrict blood vessels in older adults, increasing heart strain. Instead of reaching straight for the mug, hydrate first. Then, enjoy your coffee with breakfast, not before. Habit number 5, diving into digital chaos. Checking email, reading headlines, scrolling through notifications, these seem harmless. But starting your day with mental stress triggers a sharp rise in blood pressure and inflammation. The National Institute on Aging has shown that early morning psychological stress can overload the cardiovascular system in seniors. Instead of rushing into alerts and problems, begin your day with calm. Listen to music, breathe deeply, look outside. Even 5 minutes of stillness can reset your nervous system. These aren't just habits, they're decisions made every single morning. And the good news? Each one is a chance to do something different, because prevention doesn't always come from a pill. Sometimes it starts with water, a breath, a quiet choice. Up next, even if you do everything right, there are still silent signs your body might be sending. Let's take a closer look at them before it's too late. What if the most dangerous symptoms aren't dramatic at all? What if they feel like forgetfulness, a moment of clumsiness, or just having an off day? For many people over 60, the earliest signs of a heart attack or stroke don't look like what you've seen on TV. There's no collapsing to the floor, no shouting for help, no sudden clutching of the chest. Instead, the body whispers. Here are 7 subtle signs that often show up days, or even weeks, before a major event. And the reason they're so dangerous is simple. Most people dismiss them. Sign number 1, sudden clumsiness. You reach for your toothbrush and knock it over. You drop your fork twice in one meal. These may not be just aging. They can be signs of reduced coordination, possibly due to impaired blood flow to the brain. Sign number 2, struggling to find simple words. You forget the name of someone you've known for years. Or you stop mid-sentence, unable to finish your thought. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke confirms that sudden confusion or trouble speaking is a common sign of a mini-stroke. Sign number 3, feeling foggy or detached. You're present, but not fully. Like you're walking through your day in a daze. This brain fog can be caused by subtle disruptions in blood supply to critical brain areas. Sign number 4, dropping everyday objects. You've held the same mug for years, but it slips out of your hand. If your grip feels weaker or less coordinated than usual, it may be time to pay closer attention. Sign number 5, losing balance. Briefly, you feel off when standing, need to catch yourself, or veer slightly while walking. These can be signs of early issues in the cerebellum, your brain's balance center. Sign number 6, blurry vision. Even for a moment, one eye or both, just for a few seconds. It could be fatigue, or it could be a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, what doctors call a warning stroke. According to the American Stroke Association, vision disturbances are a red flag. Sign number 7, a skipped or fluttering heartbeat. Not the kind from excitement or caffeine, but a strange, sudden sensation in your chest. This could be atrial fibrillation, AFib, which increases stroke risk 5-fold in older adults, according to the CDC. None of these signs are meant to scare you. They're meant to wake you up, because when your body is off balance, it doesn't stay silent. It speaks. And if you learn to listen to these whispers, you may never have to hear the scream. When we think of heart attacks or strokes, we often picture the classic symptoms: chest pain, tightness, slurred speech, numbness on one side. But for women, especially women over 60, the signs often look very different. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. According to the American Heart Association, women are more likely to experience subtle, non-traditional symptoms in the days or even weeks before a cardiac event. Things like fatigue that doesn't go away with rest, shortness of breath doing everyday tasks, nausea or lightheadedness, anxiety or feeling like something's just not right, mild pressure in the chest, not pain, but discomfort, trouble sleeping. Sometimes women even mistake these symptoms for the flu, or stress, or simply getting older. But they're not. In fact, a major study published in Circulation found that women wait an average of 37 minutes longer than men before calling emergency services during a heart attack. That delay can mean the difference between recovery and catastrophe. Why the hesitation? Because the signs don't feel serious enough. Because they don't match what we've seen in movies. Because women often put others first and ignore themselves. The same is true for strokes. Instead of the classic face droop or speech slurring, women often report confusion, dizziness, or even hiccups with chest discomfort. That's right, hiccups. Your body is speaking to you, but it may be doing it in your own language, not the one printed in medical textbooks. And that's why knowing these quieter, gender-specific signs isn't just helpful, it's life-saving. So if you feel off, physically or emotionally, don't brush it off. Don't assume it's just hormones or just age, because when it comes to your heart and brain, it's better to ask early than regret later. For decades, we've been told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But for older adults, it's not just important, it can be life-saving. Your first meal after waking isn't just about energy. It's a powerful opportunity to protect your heart, support your brain, and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Let's start with the most overlooked weapon: oats. A single cup of cooked oats contains a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which has been shown to lower LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, by up to 10% according to the National Lipid Association. Now imagine eating that every day. That's a long-term reduction in heart attack risk without medication. Want to take it one step further? Add ground flax seeds or walnuts. Both are high in ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that, according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, can reduce cardiovascular death by 10 to 15%. That's not a trend, that's science. If you prefer something savory, try a soft-boiled egg with lightly steamed greens, like spinach or Swiss chard. This simple combination delivers protein, magnesium, and potassium, which help regulate blood pressure and support healthy heart rhythm. And what about your morning drink? Instead of reaching for coffee first, try herbal teas that support vascular health. Hibiscus tea has been shown to gently lower blood pressure, while chamomile can calm the nervous system, ideal for those sensitive to morning stress. Now let's talk about supplements. After 60, your body naturally produces less of certain nutrients that are essential for cardiovascular health. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels. A 2017 study in hypertension found that higher magnesium intake was linked to a 22% lower stroke risk. Vitamin D3 reduces arterial stiffness and supports immune health. Omega-3s, EPA, and DHA lower triglycerides and reduce the risk of cardiac death by up to 20%, according to Circulation. CoQ10, critical for energy production in heart cells. Levels drop with age, but supplementation can boost heart function and reduce fatigue. Remember, these are not fads. These are clinically backed strategies used by cardiologists and nutritionists around the world. Instead of relying solely on pills after the problem has started, why not fortify your body before the storm? A good breakfast is not just a habit, it's a shield. And when you combine smart food choices with essential nutrients, you create an internal environment where healing isn't just possible, it's sustainable. Because longevity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently. We often think healing begins in the hospital, with doctors, machines, and urgent care. But the truth is, it begins much earlier. It begins in the quiet, in the small choices we make each morning. It begins with a single glass of water, with a deep breath before standing up, with the decision to nourish your body, not rush it, and with the courage to ask, what is my body trying to tell me today? Because your body isn't betraying you. It's speaking to you. That flutter in your chest, that moment of dizziness, that unusual forgetfulness, these aren't just inconveniences. They might be warnings. And if you ignore them, if you chalk it up to just age, you might miss your chance to act while there's still time. But when you pause and listen, you reclaim control. You give yourself options, because every morning you wake up is not just a new day, it's a second chance. A chance to choose stillness over stress, to choose hydration over habit, to choose care over convenience. And here's the most important part. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to do one small thing consistently, because recovery is not a stroke of luck. It's the result of 100 quiet decisions made when no one is watching. So start tomorrow differently. Start with intention. And if this video helped you see your routine in a new light, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below with your current morning routine, even if it's just one detail. Because when you share, others learn. And when others learn, lives change. And if someone you love is over 60, send them this video today, not next week, not after something happens, now. Because a single stretch, a sip of water, or a moment of stillness could be what protects the life they've worked so hard to build. You don't have to move faster. You just have to stop long enough to truly listen. Your morning is a message. Will you hear it?